Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we're going to talk Catfish, the TV show, last night's episode, Mark and Taylor. So I'm just going to get right into it. So Mark, he's been talking to this girl on this like game. It's like a virtual. We've seen a lot of this in Catfish history, like on this like virtual gaming thing. And he had like a birthday, and they're playing the game, and he come across this girl that was like being his like cheerleader type thing, and her name was Taylor, and they started talking, and they talked. He said on the show that he talked to her like all night. The day they met, they talked all night until the sun rose. They talked on the phone. They never video chatted. There wasn't like a reason why he said that they didn't find the need to video chat because they were talking so much. She had like a real high-pitched voice, but he still had like some concerns on she may not be who she says she is. So he calls in the reinforcements. He calls in Neve and Cammy. They fly him out to LA, and like they meet up to discuss how they met and everything. And so Neve and Cammy go out and do their investigation. And basically, they ran the pictures. Like the girl in the pictures looked very, very, really good. Like I actually, and I mean no disrespect when I say this, I actually thought like her pictures like resembled a little bit of an adult film star, if you know what I mean. So I had like no hopes for this, no hopes at all. So, they ran the pictures, everything they ran the pictures and the numbers, everything came back normal. Like everything came back to, actually came back to somebody said Marie Taylor, yeah, everything came back normal. So they meet back up with Mark. And, they said, everything has come back normal. They reached out to her and she didn't respond quick enough. Then she eventually responded. Now, Taylor / Marie was supposed to be living in, like, Vegas. She was supposed to be living in Vegas. That's what she told Mark. And then when Neve and Cammy messaged her to meet up with Mark, she sent, like, this weird message saying, "Oh, is Mark with you? Why is he in LA? Like, if I meet with him, this is not going to be pretty. Like, why is he in LA right now?" And when she said that, they were thinking, oh, shoot. Judging by the context of that message, she might be in LA. So she's lying to where she's at. And she's angry right now. Like, she's like, if I meet up with him, it's not going to be pretty. So I was just like, oh God, I was kind of like, for a minute, I was actually kind of scared for them a little bit. So then later, like she calls back and says, if Mark really wants to meet me, I'll meet up with him. I am in LA. Here's my address. So they were like, okay, cool. So Neve, Cammy, and Mark, Neve got this limo. Yeah, I forgot to mention this in the beginning. Neve had bought this limo, this kind of like limo for himself, and he rode around all around LA, and it with Cammy and Mark. It was pretty cool. But nonetheless, they go to her house, and like she texts them and said, "Just come on right in." And Cammy was just like, "I'm not going into no stranger's house." And y'all know how Neve is. Neve likes to be the guy who knocks on the door, and then the door open, and he just walks right in. I'm like, Neve, like, what the heck are you doing? Like, Cammy and Mark are just like, I'm not going into a stranger's house. And this house was nice. And then you could just hear like a real high-pitched voice, "I'll be out in a minute," and everything. And I'm just like, if I was in that situation, I would have been how Cammy was feeling. I'm like, I'm freaked out a little bit. So she comes out, the girl comes out, and it was actually the girl in the pictures. Her name was Marie Taylor, and she was the girl in the pictures. I was just like, wow, I did not expect that. This is one of those cases I did not expect. She was the girl in the picture. She lived in a very, very, very like fancy house and everything. If that was really her house, but I won't go there. I'll let other commenters go on that one. But her house was very, very nice. Like, it was just one of those luxury type homes that I wish I had. But yeah, she was the girl in the pictures, and she met up with Mark and everything. And this is one of those cases where miscommunication happens. So she was the girl in the pictures, but she did not have any romantic feelings for Mark whatsoever. And she realized that he did, but she didn't fully express that she wasn't really interested like that. They're just like gaming buddies, basically. Mark was under the assumption that, just based on the context of their conversation, that, he felt something more. He said he should have seen like some of the flags that she wasn't interested anymore. But yeah, she was just not interested in him. Like, it was sad because like they talked for a while, and she's just not interested. Now, in my opinion on this one, now obviously you don't have to be, if you're not into somebody, nobody's forcing you. You don't have to be interested. If you're not interested, you don't have to be. But in this case, miscommunication was big. She said that she knew that Mark really liked her, but she didn't fully like tell him that she really didn't until they're on the show. So I'm just wondering why she put him through that, just like get his heart broken on national TV, instead of just being honest right from the get-go, saying, hey, we're just gaming buddies. I only like you as a friend and nothing more, unfortunately. Like, he had to call in the show, and now his heart is broken on the show and everything. So, and then I'm looking at Marie, and she's a beautiful girl, and I'm looking at Mark, and he's good looking, but after looking at him and base how this all ended up, both of each other are out of each other's leagues. They were both out of each other's leagues, and I don't think that I just don't think it would. I couldn't see them together. I just think that I actually think she's probably too independent for him, or he's actually too good for her. So and I wish one day that we could get past those traits, and don't worry about how the mismatching will look and stuff. I'm really hoping one day we get past that, because we see this a lot just in life. People have a certain type. They want their person to be this way or that way and stuff, and which is fine, but it's fine to an extent. I think once you get older, once you get to a certain age, that shouldn't really matter, so long as they treat you right and they're doing what they got to do to make you feel happy, then that's all that really should matter, so I hope one day that we can get past that, but just from an outsider looking in, watching the show, I felt like Mark and Marie were really out of each other's leagues, and it was sad, but it is what it is. So they did a little follow-up. Marie says she's sad that she didn't tell him sooner. Mark moved on. They don't really communicate, and it is what it is. But this episode, like I said, was just a perfect case of miscommunication. Just be honest with your person. If you're, you don't have to have the feelings, but just let them know. Don't mislead somebody, because if you mislead somebody, then that person is just gonna get hurt in the long run. And in this case, I felt really bad for Mark. This girl was beautiful. The good news is she wasn't a catfish. She was not a catfish. But, it's one of those cases, would you rather her be a catfish and her be all over you, or her not be a catfish and not interested in you? You gotta take one or the other. You can't. It's like wanting to have your cake and eating it too. But nonetheless, it was a good episode. It wasn't really a catfish, so that was good. But I just wish they both were really more open with their feelings and their communication, and it would have saved a lot of heartache. So it is what it is on that one. So Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll be back on tomorrow to recap tonight's episode of Married at First Sight, and be sure to watch that. So have a great day, guys.